Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you to Chris Reutard. Oh, I'm sorry, Chris Norlund. I got confused. Born Reutard. I'm not sure. This guy's like stunningly stupid, and you can see by the title of this video, Tesla Cybertruck recalls could bankrupt Elon Musk. Now, ballpark Tesla has sold to date about 40,000 Cybertrucks. If the average cost of a recall, which they don't cost anything, but if the average cost of a Cybertruck recall was the full price of the Cybertruck, $100,000, that would be $4 billion. Tesla has more than $30 billion in cash, and Elon's net worth is in the $400 billion range. 300, $400 billion. So how would $4 billion bankrupt Elon? Norland's channel is full of bankrupt, Tesla bankrupt, Elon bankrupt, blah, blah, blah. You can see it again here in the, we'll go back through the video, but this is early in the video. Tesla Cybertruck bankrupt Elon. This guy is a clickbait monster who comes up, the bankrupt in all caps. You're a Reutard. This is utterly stupid. But he has a following. The video has 25,000 views. I get a lot of people who follow me asking me to address this Reutard's videos about Elon. So let's do this one. Are you ready? Let's go.
So Elon Musk, the Tesla CEO, has definitely pooped himself with the Tesla Cybertruck. And the question remains is, will this be the thing that ultimately bankrupts him and Tesla?
As I said, it's just utterly stupid. 40,000 Cybertrucks sold. At maximum, it would cost $4 billion. How dumb are you? But let's keep going, because he's an idiot.
This is the headline today, guys. Tesla recalling almost 700,000 vehicles due to tire pressure monitoring system issue.
This guy's been covering Tesla and Elon long enough to know that a recall is an over-the-air update. It's basically a software update for free. You don't have to take your car in. It doesn't cost Tesla anything. They just send out an update over the air and your car is better the next day. I'm pretty sure he knows this and he's just out and out lying, but does he think Tesla has sold 700,000 Cybertrucks and somehow this recall is going to cost Tesla the cost of 700,000 Cybertrucks when they've only sold 40,000? This is just stupid.
I've actually lost count, but I think this might be the 7th recall this year of the Tesla Cybertruck.
It's not a Cybertruck call, you moron. 700,000 vehicles. It's not Cybertruck. There's only 40,000 Cybertrucks. It can't be Cybertruck. Hello? Hello? Is this thing on? Hello? What kind of idiot are you? 700,000?
This is some sort of tire issue or whatever.
It's not a tire issue, you twit. It's a tire pressure monitoring system issue. You twit. And it's a software update. You twit.
There's a possibility you're, overinflated, underinflated, and could possibly lead to a crash. And this is dangerous.
I actually remember when cars didn't have tire pressure monitoring systems. Could possibly lead to a crash? That's all you got? Really? Most of my life, I drove cars that didn't have tire pressure monitoring systems. Somehow we survived.
This comes at a time when, essentially, as I was saying, that the Cybertruck is basically Elon Musk royally poop himself, and but basically he's trying to hope that no one notices.
What the hell are you talking about? Kim Kardashian is posting videos of herself giving Cybertrucks to friends. The Cybertruck is super popular. People love it. What does pooped himself even mean? What the hell are you talking about? Elon basically pooped himself. What? The stock is up. The company's roaring success. AI is improving. FSD is improving like crazy. There's all kinds of great stuff happening. What the hell are you talking about? What is this Elon pooped himself thing? What does that even mean?
We actually had and that's sort of in the figurative sense. We also have in the literal sense, there is a rumor going around that Trump pooped himself.
I'm not going to give you the whole video, but Trump is looking around and people are looking at him, and somehow this means that Trump pooped himself. What does this have to do with Elon? This is just so stupid. Like, how is this in a video about Elon bankrupt Cybertruck bankrupting Elon? Huh.
I showed it to my wife. She thinks he might have just farted, but I'm thinking he might have pooped himself. And I can't believe we're talking about this, but yes.
I can't believe we're talking about this. Then why is it in your video, you idiot? You put it in the video. I can't believe we're talking about this. You put it in your video. Now we know why we're talking about it. Because you're a retard.
I guess sales are tanking or pooping, as you could say, in Europe down double digits.
So what we know, I don't know the specific story he's talking about. Tesla sales go up and down in different regions depending on whether they're shipping cars to that region at the moment. If China is sucking up a lot of cars, then Giga Shanghai doesn't send cars to Europe. Tesla tends to time the deliveries, so at the end of the year, they're delivering to China because they don't want cars sitting on a ship during the quarterly report. Is he talking about all of Europe? Is it one country? We've seen this for years, that these TSLAQ idiots say, oh, Tesla sales are down in such, Belgium lost, only sold 40% as many Teslas as last month. This is nonsense. Tesla sales are doing fine. The numbers in China are like gangbusters. It's going to be one of the best years ever for Tesla. They're probably going to clear 2 million vehicles, maybe a little bit more. That's growth. This is a positive year for Tesla sales, not a negative year for Tesla sales, unless you're a TSLAQ retard.
I guess they don't like Teslas over there, and you got a lot more competition and other cars to choose from.
Oh no, the competition is coming. I've never heard that before. They've got other cars. And did you know that Europe has other cars? Other cars. They never had other cars before. See, when Tesla started, there were no cars in Europe. But then Tesla started selling cars, and other companies like BMW did not exist. Mercedes, Volkswagen, none of them existed before. And there's no problems in the car industry outside of Tesla. It's not like Nissan is nearing bankruptcy and merging with Honda so they can go bankrupt together. It's not like Volkswagen is laying off like 30,000 employees because they're screwed. No, somehow there's a problem with Tesla. Who? What are these? What is this competition that's coming to? What competition are we talking about? No idea what he's talking about.
This has been reported in multiple sources. We also have this thing.
By the way, this is one of the highlights. Basically, Electrek, run by Fred Lambert, just constantly runs negative stories about Tesla. Just total BS stories, total nonsense. Fred has like Elon derangement syndrome to the extreme, hates Elon for whatever reason, and he just, his Electrek just constantly pumps out negative stories about Tesla. And this guy's videos, as far as I can tell, his videos are basically, what did Electrek say bad about Tesla today? Okay, let's cover that. No independent thought whatsoever. So far in this video, zero independent thought. I read this headline, must be bad news for Tesla. Ooh, another headline, must be bad news for Tesla. Oh, another headline, must be bad news for Tesla. Are there good headlines for Tesla in other sources? Are there other things out there that might say positive things? Are you missing something? Tesla is buffing Foundation Series badges off Cybertrucks to sell as regular trucks. I have no idea if it's true or not, and I don't care. Who cares? If they're selling trucks, they're selling trucks. How many are we talking about? Are we talking about 5, 10, 100? Like, who cares? This is not a serious issue. I'm not saying it's true, but I'm just saying even if it is true, this is not a serious issue.
Basically, there's a report that Tesla's like buffing off the Foundation Series like laser etching thing. When they first came out with the Cybertrucks, they sold them to the super fans, and they would essentially etch on like a laser thing that would say Cybertruck on there and charge you like 20 grand for the quote special edition kind of thing.
The Cybertruck Foundation Series came with a lot more than etching. There were a whole bunch of options that came with the Cybertruck Foundation Series that added roughly $20,000 in value to the car. Like you got a home charger, like you got FSD, $7,000, $8,000 there, a few $1,000s for the home charger. There were a few other features. It ballpark worked out to about $20,000 in features and options. It wasn't just a badge. But if you're a retard, if you're a TSLAQ retard, then you oversimplify something, you get the facts wrong, most likely deliberate. This is very likely this guy is just lying. He can't be this dumb for this long. Wait, I'm sorry, I apologize. It's entirely possible that he is this stupid.
And who wants to pay an extra 20 grand just for a laser etching or effectively a sticker?
It's not just for the laser etching. Stupid.
They shut down their production line for 3 days earlier this month.
Notice it's another Electrek. By the way, friends, don't let friends read Electrek. It's a constant source of misleading information about Tesla and other topics. 3 days. 3 days? There's 360 days a year. That's less than 1% of the days that the factory's open. 365 days a year. You're talking about 1% of the days? You know, they're revamping the production line. Who knows what they're doing? How is this a big deal? At critical time for the company. What time of the company is not critical? When is the not critical time for the company? They got over $30 billion in cash. They're profitable. All kinds of things are going well. What's the uncritical time for the company? We're not on the edge of bankruptcy. We're profitable. This headline stuff, like critical time for the company? What's the critical time? Tell me what. I would love to hear what the uncritical time is for the company. When is it not critical?
Now, Tesla used to brag that there were 2 million pre-orders on this thing. I think the early estimates were like 40K was said by Tesla, then it comes out like 120. And obviously, there's a bunch of people that are like, hey, I signed up for the 40K thing. You know, what's this 120 nonsense?
The vast majority of reservations were for the higher end models. There were less than 20% of the reservations were for the single motor, low end price vehicle. And when the Cybertruck was announced, the economy was different. There were massive changes in the economy, and the Cybertruck ended up coming with a lot more features like four-wheel steering and steer-by-wire, some great features that really make a difference. When you announce a prototype in 2019 and then you come out with a vehicle in 2023, there's going to be some changes. There's going to be some pricing changes, but COVID wrecked the supply chains. All kinds of things happen. It ended up costing more. You want your $100 back, you get your $100 back. What's the big deal?
You got slow orders, you got low demand, and then you got these mechanical problems. They got some sort of battery issue. They're calling this the cell dent issue.
Oddly, even though I follow Tesla closely, this is the first time I'm aware of this story. Cell dent issues in Cybertruck replacing batteries. Like, how many vehicles is this? You're in the early stages of producing a new vehicle. We know this with Tesla. Sometimes there are issues in the early stages of a new vehicle. Elon has said that himself.
Friends kind of like ask me, like, when should they buy a Tesla? I'm like, well, either buy it right at the beginning or when the production reaches steady state. During that like production ramp, it's super hard to be like in vertical climb mode and get everything right on the little details. It's just a super difficult thing.
But the very first vehicles that roll off the line are usually great, and there's a point in the ramp where things get janky, and then they figure everything out and things go great. They've only sold 40,000 Cybertrucks so far. I think it's less than 40,000 total. Are we talking about 100? Are we talking about 40? How many vehicles are we talking about? There's no substance here. Like, he's not analyzing the story. He's not assessing what's the positive side of the story, what's the negative side of the story. It's just, here's a headline, Tesla's going to go bankrupt. Here's a headline, Tesla's going to go bankrupt. Look, I've got Fred Fudstone here constantly reporting BS stories about Tesla, and so Tesla's going to go bankrupt because Fred Fudstone published a headline. I think Fred is dumb, and I think Fred is twisted, and Fred has Elon derangement syndrome. This guy's dumber than Fred. You're dumber than Fred Lambert. How dumb are you?
You're a small business owner, and if you own, I guess this is Angie's Lobster up in Maine, it's wild-caught seafood. Man, for $6.49, you can get it. If you like ladies who dance on poles, you may like Cybertrucks as well. This has actually kind of been my funniest thing that I've seen in the Cybertruck this year. This was in Vegas, and there was some sort of strip club that was literally put a pole on the Cybertruck when we were driving around and had ladies dancing on said pole. People are modifying their Cybertrucks, right? So I don't even know what the heck this thing is. He put some sort of thing on the top of it.
So let me get this straight. People are using Cybertruck in a lot of innovative ways. They're using it to promote their products. They're using it to promote their services, in some cases, strippers. They're modifying their Cybertrucks and doing cool stuff with them. And this is a sign that there's a problem with the Cybertruck and Tesla's in trouble. Do I have this right, Norlund? What do you got here? And they put a cap on the back of the truck, and you don't know what it is, and who cares? People modify pickup trucks all the time. This is what you got? This is a positive thing. People love the Cybertruck so much that they're doing things with it. They're doing interesting things with it. And they're promoting their business with it, and they're promoting their strippers with it. And gosh, it's really upsetting that somebody put a stripper pole in the back. So what?
You want to run Cybertruck with Christmas lights, you can totally do that. You can put everyone in the Christmas spirit, everyone in the mood. It's kind of funny because, for most people, this would be an embarrassment to be seen in a Cybertruck, right? It's the same as, pooping yourself in public, you're hoping no one notices.
So, again, people are decorating their Cybertruck for Christmas, and this is bad? Just because you don't like Cybertruck doesn't mean this is a problem for the company. It so turns out that lots of people like Cybertruck. I just don't know where this is a problem. I think this guy's nuts. Everything has to be negative. Like somebody decided to put Christmas lights on their Cybertruck. People put Christmas lights on all kinds of cars. They do all kinds of things with all kinds of cars. Why is it a problem when they do it with a Tesla?
But for these people, I don't know. They're kind of like, hey, everyone, look, I pooped myself. Look at me. And there you go. You got the Grinch Stole Christmas plus a Christmas lights all over your Cybertruck.
I don't know if you've noticed at this point, but Chris seems to be obsessed with poop. Like, is he pooping himself right here in this video? I think Chris Norlund pooped himself right. Look at the look on his face. I think by the look on his face, Chris Norlund just pooped himself in this video. I think he saw the elf on the back of the Cybertruck and it scared him and he pooped himself. That's my best, look, I'm no expert on pooping yourself, but that might be the face.
What they're doing is that these come built in with like a little plug-in thing, and you can do that.
They come built in with a little plug-in thing? They come built in with a little plug-in thing? You mean like an outlet? You mean like there's an electrical outlet in the back of a pickup truck? Like no one's ever thought of that before? Yes, Cybertruck comes with electrical outlets in the back. I think it's 120 volts and 240 volts or something like that. I think there's options. I think it's actually a very cool feature of the truck that you can power tools with it. And apparently you can power Christmas lights with it. And that doesn't mean you pooped yourself unless you're Chris Roitard.
There's also been reports Cybertruck rear lights don't work that good. And you can actually see from this picture where on the left side, someone's saying that the one of the tail lights are out.
No car in the history of the world ever had a tail light out until Tesla came on the scene. It's never happened before. No other car company has ever had a car that had a tail light out. And we don't even know, is the vehicle making a left turn signal and they caught it on the blink? Like 40,000 Cybertrucks and somebody found one with a tail light out and this is worthy of a video? Oh, I think he pooped himself again. I mean, seriously, look at this face. This is the face of a man pooping himself. He's straining right now to get the poop out. You can see it. Like this is it. Chris Norlund is pooping himself right here. Look at that face. You think Trump looked like he pooped himself in his video before? No, this is pooping yourself. Absolutely. Guaranteed. I am now an expert in pooping yourself from other people doing it, not me. I don't do it that often. But this guy, he's pooping himself constantly.
The Tesla's fanboys and the fangirls and the paid stock promoters will all say, well, guys, Elon is right because the stock keeps going up.
I don't say that. I don't say Elon is right because the stock is going up, and I don't say Elon's wrong when the stock goes down. I say Elon's right because I understand what the company's trying to achieve. Because they make the safest cars in the world, they make the best cars in the world, and they make the best self-driving software in the world, and they're about to make the best robots in the world, and they're about to change the world. They're already changing the world. They make the best energy storage devices in the world. That's not just me talking. I've seen industry experts talking. As he poops himself, he's apparently unaware of this.
The stock does go up. It trades like a cryptocurrency, basically. So it's trading on air.
Wall Street expert Chris Roitard. He's now a Wall Street expert. He knows how stocks go up and he knows how cryptocurrencies trade too. He knows everything. He is the smartest man in the history of the world. And that's why he's sitting there against a blank background in a really boring shirt. Looks like he's never been to a gym in his life. And I think he's pooped himself again.
This is actually the market cap of Tesla compared to all the other car companies. It's sitting at like 1.4 trillion, which is absolutely insane. And there's no way they can keep this stuff up.
For those who don't understand how stocks are valued in some cases based on their earnings and their value, the value that they create over the short term when they're not growing or when they're shrinking. So what's happening is most of the established car makers are shrinking. Tesla is growing. Most of the established car makers have no innovative technology on the horizon. Tesla has self-driving cars and robots and energy and other things I'm not even sure about, other things going on. They have a lot of innovation happening that's going to create massive new markets and create massive revenue and massive profits. Toyota is not coming up with a self-driving car. All these other car companies, and we know Nissan's in deep trouble. We suspect Honda's in deep trouble. Honda's had a massive decline in sales. There's all kinds of problems with all kinds of car makers, Volkswagen, etc. Companies that are struggling, General Motors, whatever, companies that are struggling to sell cars and have no future growth prospects, yeah, their value isn't very high. Tesla, which is still growing somewhat in terms of cars, growing faster in energy, and they have the best self-driving software in the world and the best chance of delivering robots at meaningful scale that are going to change everything about how the economy works. The global economy is going to change thanks to Tesla, and it's going to generate massive revenue and profit for Tesla and for our shareholders. That's why the stock is valued as high it is, not because of current sales or current earnings, but because of growth prospects. The market is figuring out the growth prospects for Tesla, and no one else in the industry is growing.
With declining sales.
They don't have declining sales. Tesla sales are growing. This is one of those things where, look, Tesla sales are doing whatever they're doing in the United States, but the United States is not all of Tesla's global market. I'm here in Thailand. Tesla sells cars here in Thailand. China is going gangbusters. Tesla is selling like crazy in China. I believe that Tesla's doing fine in the United States. I don't know. I don't think Tesla breaks out its numbers by country. But the reports that we're hearing from China are we're having the best year ever in China, and China's the biggest auto market in the world. Reutard here doesn't know that. He either doesn't know or he's deliberately lying and deliberately misleading. The simple reality is Tesla's doing great. And I'm not judging that based on the share price. I like seeing the share price go up, but that's not my story. If anybody watches my videos knows, I don't say, well, the share price is up, so Tesla's doing great. I'll talk about when the share price is up every once in a while, but my focus is on what is the model for Tesla going forward? How is Tesla going to succeed going forward? And what will the share price be in 5 years, 6 years, 10 years? That's my focus, not what is the share price this week? What is the share price next week? I don't tend to focus on that. So real Tesla bulls are not worried about short-term numbers. We're worried about what are the prospects for success in self-driving and robotics and energy, which is going really well.
How long can you keep the stock price inflated when sales are going down?
Again, sales are not going down. Globally, Tesla sales are up. We believe, and maybe we're wrong, we believe that Tesla's going to exceed 2 million vehicles sold this year, and that is up, not down. I don't know where you get declining sales from.
And we always show you guys what Farzad's up to. He's the one of the paid Tesla stock promoters. He does like this podcast every day of like.
Farzad is a paid Tesla stock promoter? What are you talking about? Am I one of the paid Tesla stock promoters? Where's my check? He's not a paid Tesla stock promoter. He's a YouTuber like you. He makes money from people watching his videos like you. And we make money on X from people, from ads, and from people subscribing to us. This doesn't make him paid. We're not paid by Tesla. I don't think Farzad's paid by Tesla. I know I'm not. Where's my check?
Farzad tweets out this kind of stuff. If an AI can drive a car better than a human, AI will do everything better than a human.
This is a common attitude within people who are following artificial intelligence. We have natural stupidity. Natural stupidity has trouble comprehending artificial intelligence. It's just the way it is.
Again, he's promoting these replace humans with robots, everything, all day, every day. We're going to lay on our couch, and I guess the robots are going to do all the work for us.
So, Reutard, have you done your own analysis of the future of global economy in a world where cars drive themselves and eventually robots do the equivalent of human work and maybe more? Have you thought that through? Do you use ChatGPT? Do you use Grok? Do you use any AIs to figure out what you're going to talk about or analyze your life? Are you impressed with AIs? Do you think that as AIs improve, that might change things? No level of analysis here. And oh, he pooped himself again. Look at that face. He pooped himself again. I'm not deliberately stopping at these moments. It's just I stop, and it just so happens to be one of those moments. This guy poops himself a lot.
Positive path going forward, if you believe in Tesla, is that they're going to be the most awesome AI company in the world. Now, just let that sink in.
Let that sink in. Yeah. Most awesome AI company in the world. You mean the one with the largest AI training cluster in the world for self-driving? The one with the largest data, real-time data for self-driving? Why wouldn't they be the leader in real-world AI? Nobody's saying they're the real-world leader in large language models. Tesla's not trying to be the world leader in large language models. Grok is in XAI, but Tesla is not trying to be the leader in that part of AI. There's real-world AI, and Tesla is clearly the leader, and anyone who pays any attention to it knows they have the data and they have the compute. That's what matters. If you understood AI, did he poop himself? I think he's about to poop himself. If you understand how AI works, having a lot of data and having a lot of compute is the solution.
And then I guess they're trying to make a deal with Austin, the city of Austin, and who knows what they have to pay politicians to get that through.
So they're working on a plan to deploy self-driving in the city where they're based? And this is bad news?
Robot cars driving around the city. So if you live in Austin, please be careful out there.
There are robot cars driving in San Francisco, Los Angeles. Waymo has cars driving in lots of places. Is there some reason you think that Tesla's self-driving cars are more dangerous than Waymo's self-driving cars? Do you believe there are no safe robotic cars? Do you think humans are safe drivers? I don't think he's pooping himself in this. Sorry, I guess I stopped in the wrong place. He's not pooping himself at this moment. I just want to apologize. If he is, he's faking it. He's covering it really well, but I don't think he's pooping himself, other than demonstrating his lack of intelligence.
This is serious. These things are dangerous. I know we make jokes about this kind of stuff because a lot of the stuff is laughable, like how ludicrous our world is. But seriously, be safe out there because this is the reality. Is they really did poop themselves with the Cybertruck. They poop themselves every day with their FSD.
Look, I haven't driven FSD in over a year. I drove FSD for about 60,000 miles in the United States. And then I came to Asia more than a year ago. So I haven't driven FSD in a while. But I keep seeing from people who were formerly very critical of FSD. Chuck Cook's a really good example. Chuck Cook was positive but critical about various flaws. And Chuck Cook is sold. Chuck Cook has basically said, we're almost there. And lots of other people who understand AI, like James Douma, have said this is really, really positive and they're doing really well and their improvement is accelerating. So what are you talking about? His whole thing is they poop themselves, they poop themselves, they poop themselves. Do you have any analysis? Do you have anything meaningful do you have anything of value to say? Is there any kind of assessment of reality that you can offer other than showing a video of Trump that has nothing to do with anything?
The Tesla fanboys and fangirls are basically like Trump in this picture where they're trying to pretend like everything's okay.
So let's be clear. I think Tesla has challenges. I do think everything's okay, but Tesla has challenges. They have execution challenges. There's all kinds of hurdles to Tesla's success. Government can get in the way. Various governments can get in the way. There's all kinds of potential problems facing Tesla, but they've never been a stronger position than they are today. Everything is getting better. Their manufacturing operations are getting better. We've seen more of the product roadmap with Cybercab. Cybertruck is awesome, and we're hearing lots of great things about Cybertruck. There's a new Model 3, rumors at least of a new Model Y coming. There's lots of great things going on with Tesla. I'm not like, everything's magical and wonderful and Tesla's going to make $100 billion next year. No, they have challenges. They have execution challenges. They've got to get this self-driving working, and they're working really hard and they're doing really well, but you have to keep executing. And they're working on the bot, and they're working on improving the bot, and they're working on the software for the bot, and they've got to train the bot. And training the bot's going to be really hard. That's not like a simple thing, because you're not only training it to navigate space, but you're training it to navigate much more complex spaces than the cars navigate. And you've got to train the bot to perform tasks, to manipulate objects, which is completely different from what the cars do. There's a lot of hills for Tesla to climb. It just so happens they have a great team. They have great AI compute. They generate more data. They have great manufacturing capacity, great manufacturing innovation, all kinds of great things going for Tesla. And they have a massive pile of cash in the bank. Where's the problem?
Tesla Cybertruck was spotted at a BYD factory. So rumor mill has it that BYD, so that's a Chinese car company, they're going to figure out a way to reverse engineer these things.
BYD and other Chinese EV manufacturers have had the opportunity to tear down, and many companies do this, they tear down their competitors' cars. Listen, I'm in Thailand. There are Chinese EVs all over the road. I hear from people in China. I've been to Hong Kong, where there are Teslas in Hong Kong, and there are Chinese EVs in Hong Kong. And everything I hear is that although the Chinese are making, I think the Chinese are making good EVs. I think the BYD Seal is a nice EV. I think the BYD Atto 3 is a nice EV. They're not as good as Tesla. They're good. They're low cost. Their prices are lower, but the quality isn't there. Chinese consumers know it. Chinese consumers prefer Teslas if they can afford them. Thai consumers prefer Teslas if they can afford them. The supercharger network is better. The software is better. They're safer. There's all kinds of advantages to Tesla over these Chinese EVs. And the fact that they're going to tear down a Cybertruck, so what? They've torn down other Teslas. Where is the BYD Plaid Model S? It's not there. Why have they probably tore down a Plaid? Where's their Plaid powertrain? It's not there. Why does the BYD Atto 3 have a charge rate of 88 kilowatts when a Tesla has a 250 kilowatt charge rate? Tesla's charge 3 times as fast as a BYD. Why? Because yes, they can tear it down and they can kind of get an idea, but manufacturing is hard. And BYD is good. I want to say again, BYD is good. I think they're doing a lot of good things. If I was in the market for buying an EV and I couldn't afford a Tesla, I would buy a BYD. I just talked to a friend today, a Thai friend today, who's thinking about buying a car. He was talking about buying a BYD Dolphin. He was concerned about charging. I found a BYD charger like a kilometer from his home. He lives in a condo, so there's no charging in the condo, but there's a BYD charger a kilometer away. So his charging is going to be relatively easy. It's not a great road trip car, but it's a good city car, depending on what your needs are. And I wouldn't want to be in a BYD in a crash if I could be in a Tesla. And Thailand doesn't have the safest roads in the world, but they're fine cars. That if I had to pick a car and I couldn't have a Tesla, I'd probably buy a BYD. I think they make really good cars. And there's lots of other great Chinese EVs. The Deepal, D-E-E-P-A-L. Deepal makes good cars. Xpeng makes good cars. Xiaomi is working on a good car. I'm very positive about Chinese EVs. They're doing fine. They're not as good as Tesla, and that's not just me talking. You look around, listen to what Chinese consumers are saying, listen to what the reviews are saying. They're lower cost, they're cheaper, and they're cheaper.
You get your hands on the competitor, and I think it's goodbye Tesla.
So let me see if I got this straight. It's goodbye Tesla because BYD is going to reverse engineer a Cybertruck, which you say Tesla can't sell anyway. Like, if the Tesla is having trouble selling the Cybertruck, why does it matter if a competitor comes along with a competing truck? This is how dumb he is. Pooping himself again. Poop alert.
Essentially, if the stock collapses, and that's what Musk's net worth is based on, then he has no more influence.
Elon's net worth is about half SpaceX at this point. Elon owns about half of the SpaceX. SpaceX is currently valued at $350 billion. So Elon's net worth just on SpaceX alone is $170 billion. If Tesla stock goes up, then Elon's net worth from Tesla goes up. But Elon also has substantial shares, probably more than half of Neuralink, The Boring Company, XAI, and I think he has less than half of X, but close. His net worth is over $200 billion without Tesla. He's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. Oh, he's thinking about pooping himself. I'm shocked that people ask me to do a video about this guy. I watched one video and it's devoid of meaningful content. He's not adding any value. He reads headlines from Electrek. He BS's his way through the video. He makes absolutely no sense. And he poops himself. He claims that Elon's pooping himself. He claims that Trump is pooping himself. And you look at his face half the time in the video, it looks like he's pooping himself. And right now, I think he's squeezing one out right now. I hope you enjoyed this video. Check out the t-shirts at elonbits.com. Thank you so much for watching.